Welcome to the Solo Edit Podcast, a podcast for estheticians looking for a weekly dose of motivation, inspiration, and honest conversations about life in and out of the treatment room. Today, I want to talk about something that feels more important than ever, not just in business and not just in skincare, but in the world we live in, which is inclusivity in the treatment room. This conversation goes far beyond marketing or service menus. It is all about the human experience. It is about safety and dignity and the sense of belonging. And it's also about the responsibility that we carry as estheticians to cultivate spaces where every client feels seen and respected and cared for. So let's dive in. We are living in a time where people are carrying so much identity, trauma, burnout, fear, all of those things, and so much more, to be honest with you. And with the world feeling so divided, people are really craving a safe, grounded space where they can feel like they can be fully themselves. The treatment room historically has always been that sanctuary, but now it has the potential to be even more than that. It can be a space for healing, affirmation, and a space for being witnessed without judgment. Inclusivity is not just one thing, and it is not political. It's care and respect, and it's a fundamental part of being an esthetician because we touch the skin and we hold space for others. It's also a series of intentional choices that helps create this sense of belonging. I want to share some of the spaces where I feel like it matters most. The first is going to be language and communication. Inclusivity begins with the way that we speak. And that would include using clients' preferred pronouns, avoiding assumptions about their gender, age, or relationship status, using language that is body neutral rather than appearance judgmental. And then last, asking before offering opinions about someone's skin story. Language definitely has power, and inclusive language is what helps build trust. The second is intake forms that honor identity. Our intake forms are generally one of the first touch points of our client's experience. So small shifts that can make a big impact include offering inclusive gender options, allowing clients to share cultural or religious considerations, asking about sensory needs or trauma-informed preferences, or at least providing a space for them to share that if they feel comfortable. All of these really communicate, I see you and I care about your experience. The third is creating a physically inclusive environment. Inclusivity is also physical. So think about, is my treatment table one that accommodates diverse bodies? Do I have tools that work with different skin tones or textures? Are we ensuring that our products and our protocols are safe for melanin-rich skin? Having fragrance-free options for those. I mean, there are a lot of clients that don't like fragrance in general. Being mindful of physical limitations or disabilities. There are so many. And this kind of brings back a memory of when I worked at the spa in Ann Arbor before I went off on my own. It was honestly the worst. They did not carry any makeup for melanin-rich skin. It was only probably up to a Fitz 3. And my friend was coming in for a bridal party, and I had just started working at the spa. So I had no idea that this was even a thing. But she came in as part of a bridal party, and they told her, sorry, we don't have makeup for you. Can you imagine? So mortifying. And they were obviously okay with that answer then and okay for the future because they never brought in any makeup that was higher than a Fitz 3. Totally mind-boggling and unacceptable. So an equitable experience means no one has to, fit your space, but your space has to adapt to them. The fourth is cultural competence. Skin is cultural. Texture, tone, hair patterns, sensitivities, and comfort levels are all influenced by cultural or ethnic backgrounds. So being inclusive means understanding how different skin types respond to treatments, avoiding outdated language like ethnic skin, staying educated on how to treat higher Fitzpatrick clients, being aware of cultural considerations around modesty and touch, and knowing when to refer out if something is beyond our scope. It's important to remember that cultural competence is not a one and done skill. It's ongoing, it's ever evolving. And for me, I am always continuing to learn and ask questions. And I think that we may not always get it right, but at least we are trying, and that's what's important. The fifth is trauma-informed care. So many people, especially women, carry trauma, whether it's medical trauma, body shame, assault, anxiety. So some questions that you can ask your clients to be sensitive to that is, 1, how can I make this experience feel safe? 2, ask yourself, am I attuned to nonverbal cues? When you're performing a treatment, do you look to see if they're wincing or if they're moving away from certain things, or maybe you notice that their hands are clenched? These are all nonverbal cues that we should be looking out for. Third is, do I explain what I'm doing before I do it? Not everyone likes this, but there are some people that do. So you might as well ask up front. So what inclusivity looks like in practice, or could like in practice, would be saying to your client, let me know if you need a break at any point, or would you prefer to stay more covered during this treatment? Asking about pressure. How does this pressure feel? Do you want more or less? Is there anything I should know to help you feel more comfortable? And last, would you like me to talk you through each step, or do you want me to just stay quiet? And inclusivity doesn't just stop in the treatment room. It also shows up in the way that we present our brand. So that means showing diverse skin tones, representing people of all ages, and showing all different types of body types in our imagery. It's also about avoiding fear-based messaging that targets insecurities. It's sharing our commitment to education and just our safe practices. And it's also about making our values and our boundaries clear. I know that can kind of be scary in business because you don't want to scare anyone away. But when we kind of identify all of these things, it helps our clients feel like they are making a safe choice for them. And honestly, for those who are afraid to kind of share their brand ethos, there will always be people who won't agree with what you are doing or what you are saying. And that's okay. You are not the business for them. And it will just create space for those who do align with your values. I promise if you are fearless in sharing your brand values, you will see a higher retention, better outcomes, and you'll notice word of mouth from communities who have often been overlooked. And also, at least in my experience, I found a deeper sense of purpose in my work. And then on top of all of that, it expands our capacity for compassion and connection. And that is really the heartbeat of aesthetics. If you're wondering how to become more inclusive in your business, you don't need to do an overhaul or change everything overnight. Just start small, some small intentional steps. You can update your intake forms with inclusive fields and inclusive language. You could automate your language, your email templates, your website copy, continue your education around diverse skin types. There are so many wonderful trainings that are coming out for melanin-rich skin. You can continue your education around melanin-rich skin. I think that is so, so important. And we're seeing a lot of great trainings that have started to come out. You can also just start having more open conversations with your clients about what makes them feel comfortable. Diversify your visuals in your marketing, like I mentioned. Are you representing people of all ages, all skin tones, skin conditions? And then I think the last is just leading with curiosity instead of expertise. When we think that we have everything figured out, that is the day that we stop growing. And I always say that we're in a medical field, we always have to be open to learning, but that also is true when we talk about inclusivity and just the way that the world is changing, being open and receptive to that, and also being sensitive so that we can remain that safe haven that so many clients are looking for. So remember, inclusivity is not perfection. It's just presence and a commitment to doing better. It's choosing every day to meet people where they are. Thank you so much for listening today. If you like this episode, I would really appreciate a like, a follow, a download, and I will see you back here, same time, same place next week.